Indeed, as far as I can tell, utterly unprecedented leak from the Supreme Court. Politico has obtained what they say is an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Alito showing the Supreme Court striking down Roe versus Wade. Quote, Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, Alito writes. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, he writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court. Again, I'm reading from the Politico article. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Now, Politico mentions this in a piece. This has never happened before, as far as I know, a draft opinion in the court leaking, A. B, this would be, if true, the most seismic court ruling in 50 years, most likely. Earthquake in the lives of America's women, in our leader culture, in our political culture. Irin Carmon is a senior correspondent at New York Magazine, where she covers gender law and politics, among other topics. She joins me now. Irin, we booked you tonight for a block that was going to be about how it seemed likely Roe was going to be overturned, that it seemed like maybe there was a little failure to price in that reality in the political class, and then this literally crossed 2 minutes before you came on air. What is your reaction?
Chris, I'm gobsmacked for the same reasons that you are, in the sense that Politico has posted a 98-page opinion. Again, it is a draft. We do not know if it will change between now and when we expect the court to hand down its opinion in June. But nonetheless, it is a detailed, seemingly authenticated draft written by Samuel Alito that would make abortion illegal in at least half the country the day that it goes into effect. What's shocking is that we have it. What's shocking is the impact that it will have on real people's lives. Unfortunately, anybody who listened to the justices deliberate in December is not going to be shocked by this outcome. What does seem still to be up in the air is, what will Chief Justice Roberts do? Because according to Politico's reporting, at least, his vote is still up for grabs. We heard him in December clearly say that he was interested in undoing the viability line, which is a way of overturning Roe without actually saying we are overturning Roe. What's striking about what I've been able to read from Justice Alito's opinion is that he says very clearly, we are overturning Roe. We are overturning Casey, which strengthened Roe. And the impact of that would be absolutely devastating on millions of people who can become pregnant, who live in hostile jurisdictions, and it would certainly open the door to what we were originally going to talk about today, which is a proposed national ban passed by Republicans. So this would enormously change people's lives, again, if this opinion can get to a majority. So we know that people often will leak deliberations by the court after the fact. We don't usually hear or get to read the details. It is still possible, I don't know how likely it is still possible that between now and the end of June, there will be some haggling, some change in the opinion, but we do know that the votes are apparently there from conference for Justice Alito to have gotten at least an initial sign-off to write a majority opinion that cleanly, unmistakably overturns Roe v. Wade.
Yes, just to be clear, the reporting from Politico is that there are 5 votes for this majority opinion. So whether there's 5 votes there, then there are the 3 liberals, and then Roberts in opposition. Or am I wrong on that, Irin?
I think he was assigned to a majority, which means that when they took their votes on Friday after the oral argument, there would have been votes for at least this outcome.
Right.
But when justices then circulate the opinion, they still need to get the other justices to fully sign on. So there have been times that in the process of writing, justices changed their mind. Planned Parenthood versus Casey was actually an example of this, in which in the course of writing it, there was negotiations. So I would say that the fact that somebody is leaking this is telling us that that person hopes that they can sway perhaps Chief Justice John Roberts to split the difference a little bit. Again, I'm totally speculating, but this extraordinary leak, I think, needs to be read on its own as somebody really trying to draw attention to what the court is about to do to the lives of the American people.
Yes, I mean, that's part of what's so shocking about it, is that it seems like a signal flare, right? I mean, a complete moment of break glass desperation, right? 50 years that has built up to this moment in which a sustained attack on reproductive rights in this country by the political forces that lost in Roe and then again in Casey, to gut it, to whittle it away, to try to sort of eviscerate it, everything but overturn that. The moment is here. The wolf is at the door and they are going to overturn Roe.
The sky has fallen. That's
the message of this. And again, whoever leaked this, and I have zero insight, I'm just responding in real time to this. Irin, to your point, and again, this is going to drive our news, I think, quite a bit in the aftermath of it, but this is the beginning of something and not the end in a million different ways. Both, not that this opinion is law, we don't know that, but there's a lot to wrestle with in the aftermath of this, and hopefully you can come back as we wrestle with it. Irin, Carmon, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that we had you.
Thank you, Chris.
All right. Again, I'm just sort of composing myself here as I process this. That is all in for this evening. The Rachel Maddow Show starts right now. Good evening, Rachel.
I am absorbing this right now as you are talking about it, Chris. This is, you and I both need more time to process this than is afforded by the fact that we're live on television right now. But do we share the understanding that this is the first time before a ruling has been issued we have seen